Hey dreamers, here to finish the sixes, minor arcana of the sixes. We are going to start with the Six of Pentacles. Maybe I will just really quickly invite everyone so they will know that we've posted this. Okay, so Six of Pentacles. This is the charity card. It's also the card of nonprofits. I used to have a nonprofit and this card would constantly come up for me. But this card is all about the representation of time, energy, and money. It's the card of success, particularly success that has resulted in an internal shift that's then manifested itself in the material or physical world. The card is indication of having an abundance of time, energy, money, or a lack of if the card's reversed. So much so that, so much abundance of it that you're having a hard time figuring out where to spend it, right? And it's also the card, as I mentioned, of charity and nonprofits. And it can indicate a need to spend time, energy, money supporting something that you're passionate about. It speaks to our ability to integrate past experiences with failure in order to shift to a place where we're actually open to having success. Success in this card is definitely a result of being open to looking at things differently, following your desires, and taking an inspired action to manifest a tangible result. The element is earth. The astrology is moon in Taurus, and it's number 6. So what does it mean? It means resources. It means generosity. It means charity. It means giving money. It means receiving money. It means financial assistance or a financial gift, a loan, financial aid, a paycheck, or royalties of some kind coming in. But it just overall represents abundance. And in Leah language, if you're doing a reading with me, I definitely say evaluate where you're spending your time, energy, or money, or all three. So reversed, this card can mean that you're having a difficult time figuring out where to spend your time, energy, money, to a difficult time trying to figure out where to allot your resources. It can mean that you're in debt. It can mean that charity or generosity has been refused. It can mean that you have a loan that's been denied, or that there's money not coming in, or giving that's one-sided or with strings attached, misused funds, and also embezzlement. So the symbolism in the card: on his tunic, there are some white roses. They're a little bit hard to see unless you're looking at the actual card, but they represent change and purity. The gold in the card represents riches and wealth. The blue is representative of spirituality. The purple grapes are for joy and abundance. The grapes have leaves on them to show growth, and there are many of them to represent abundance. And they're just there, like, all on his tunic. There are 4 bunches and 4 leaves on each bunch to represent the 4 elements, or any other 4s that you find significant. Purple also represents healing. The gold dots along his clothing represent gold coins. And the white heart on his hat shows that he is pure of heart. And the heart also shows his love for those he's helping. The red cross in the heart shows he wants to help heal the people as well. And it's just this tiny little pin here on the hat, right? So it's the 70th card in the deck, which breaks down to a 7. The number 7 is associated with achievement. the number 70 is associated with achievement, and it reduces to a 7 the number of success. The double 7 nature of this card numerologically contains a powerful message of success and prosperity. The astrology is Moon in Taurus. The Taurus energy is dedicated to the discovery of the truth, while the Moon is caring and considerate. The combination of energy is generous and has a unique perspective on the world. So alternative interpretations. If you pull this card and your query is about love, if you're in a relationship, you are balancing give and take within it. Receive with gratitude and give your part to nurture the relationship as well. If you're looking for a relationship, there is someone caring and generous on the horizon for you. You may even be introduced to this person by a mutual friend or acquaintance. Be clear about your intentions with any potential partner coming your way. If your query is about work and you pull this card, things seem to be suddenly going better for you. You've likely gained the support of your boss or another person in power. If you're thinking about asking for a raise, looking outside your current workplace for a job with higher income, or applying for a loan for that business you've been trying to start, this card is a good omen that it's a great time to do any of those things. If your query is about spirituality, you are actually being called to share your spiritual gifts and insights with others. Your findings and experiences are valuable. You do have a lot to share even if you don't feel like it. However, maintain humility because you certainly don't have all the answers. Engage in conversations with others about spirituality whenever the opportunity arises. You never know what you may learn. If your query is about money and you pull this card, you may be on the receiving end of some money coming to you. It won't be a large sum, but it will be from an unexpected source. This card is about generosity, so you're called to share the money that you receive, especially with those who are less fortunate than you. Love that card. Okay, and then moving on to the Six of Cups. I love this card too. This card, I'm really a fan of all the sixes. I really like the 6 cards. So this is the card of nostalgia. This card is all about wanting something to go back to the way that it used to be. It can represent a desire to go back to childhood times or more innocent times. It can also signify a pleasurable situation, one in which healing, deep nurturing, and regeneration can occur. This card can also indicate gifts coming in, because you see the little boy there giving the gift to the little girl. The card shows up when there's a need for you to do something that will renew, revitalize, or energize you. It's a clear signal to enjoy life's pleasures, either alone or with others. The element is water. The astrology is Sun in Scorpio, and the numerology is 6, obviously. So the card means pleasure and happiness and appreciation, gifts coming in, acts of kindness, the past influencing the present, nostalgia for the past or childhood, and it can also in some cases indicate trauma resurfacing. So if you're having a reading with me, Leah Languages, you're feeling nostalgic if this card comes up. Reversed, this card can mean that you're ready to move on, that you don't want things to go back to the way that they used to be. It can also indicate that you're preoccupied with the past. It can indicate regeneration, a need for inner child healing, or just a need to simply release the past. So the symbolism in the card, the boy has white on his sleeves for purity. The gold knotwork shows that he and this moment are precious. The gold knotwork makes 3 points to symbolize any significant 3 you see in the card. Typically the 3 refers to past, present, future, but it can mean maid, mother, crone, or unconscious, conscious, superconscious. The white lilies of purity are on his sash. The pink rosebuds are for love. Violets represent friendship and springtime. Springtime is the time of new beginnings and childhood. The girl is wearing a pure white apron to show her innocence. She's fresh as a daisy, shown by all the daisies in the picture. The poppies are for childish play and passions. The wreath has an opening at the front to show she's open to receiving the gift the boy is giving to her. The white dove of peace is standing on the roof of the homes. The star flowers demonstrate the magic feeling of fairy tales and also symbolizes the hope and magic of the pentagram. The cups have shields of knighthood on them to represent idealism, nobility, giving without expectation, and protecting the weak. It is the 42nd card in the deck, which does break down to a 6. The number 42 is the number of faith. This number calls for looking to the past to evaluate whether choices have served us or mistakes we have made, have served us, or mistakes made we have no desire to repeat. And the number 6 is the number of gifts coming in. So the sun in Scorpio, Scorpio is the sign of deep emotions, and this card indicates the depth of emotions that stems from memories that we have. The sun in Scorpio can sometimes stay stuck in the emotions of the past and find it tough to forgive and move on. Alternative interpretations of this card. If your query is about love and you are in a relationship, you may be stuck in the past. Make sure you're on the same page with your partner as far as your goals, hopes, and dreams for the future. Whether in a relationship or not, a past love may resurface when this card comes up. If you're considering rekindling a relationship with this person, be very careful about this decision. Remember why you broke up in the first place, and resist succumbing to nostalgia, because that will actually cloud your mind. If your query is about work and this card comes up, a creative opportunity may present itself. If you're in a job that doesn't require a lot of creativity, commit to spending some of your downtime in a creative pursuit, such as drawing or writing or painting. This will positively affect your life. If your query is about spirituality and this card comes up, it may be time to incorporate ritual into your spiritual practice. You may feel called to pull from rituals you experienced as a child and adjusting them to reflect your spiritual growth over the years. If your query is about money and this card comes up, money may be coming in from someone in your past, or you may come into an inheritance of some kind. If you're looking to make an investment, this card may mean you should take a look at things that appeal to children, that are considered retro or that invoke a feeling of nostalgia. That was our 6 of Cups card. Now we are moving on to 6 of Swords. I love this swords card. I think people get a little gun shy when they see swords, but this is the card of moving to higher ground. So this card is about things improving and moving to higher ground. It indicates movement in a positive direction, and it can also mean a literal trip across water or to a coastal place. This card encourages an intentional, rational look at the whole picture of the matter at hand. It can mean that your mind may need to multitask. It can bring attention to the pioneering of a new project and or anything original or innovative that the seeker has to bring to the surface. The card can also indicate a period of mental integration of ideas and perspectives before action is taken. Inspiration is likely to be coming from multiple sources when you receive this card. It's time to take a look at the big picture and take the big picture into account when making decisions. The element is air. The astrology is Mercury in Aquarius, and the numerology is 6. So the card means transition. It means moving to higher ground, improvement of a situation, a trip across water or to a coastal place, harmony restored, mental tranquility, travel, gaining objectivity or perspective, and it can also indicate a rite of passage. If you're doing a reading with me, like almost always, I'm like, oh, you're moving to higher ground, unless you're going on a trip, and then I would be like, oh, you're going on a trip to a coastal place or across water. Reversed, this means the inability to move on. It can indicate emotional baggage, being mentally stuck, not being able to see multiple perspectives, inflexibility, the need for soul retrieval or healing, and it can also indicate transportation delays. So the symbolism, so he has purple on his cloak, that's for royalty, the red is for courage, and the white is for purity. The black armband is a status symbol of sorts. It indicates he's passed through the sorrow of a mourning period. The boat is swan-shaped to represent serenity, beauty, and transformation. Spirit is literally guiding the boat to represent all the unseen, unexplainable energies that drive and impact our daily lives. The 6 of Swords in the boat represents 6 different obstacles that he has overcome. The swords are without scabbards to show that he can put the knowledge gained from overcoming these challenges to immediate use. The water on the left-hand side represents the unconscious mind, which knows that the journeyer is doing exactly what he needs to do. The rippling waters to the right of the boat represent the conscious mind that is more troubled. The dark cave symbolizes the unknown, and the light indicates that enlightenment awaits those willing to brave the unknown. It is the 56th card in the deck, which breaks down to a number 11. The 5 energy is one of change. In this case, it's the reassurance that change is already underway to improve your situation. The 6 energy is one of material concerns, especially worries about money. The number 11 is a number of master manifestation and doesn't reduce down. So this card is rife with manifesting power. So it's imperative to focus on what you want, because whatever you focus upon, you will bring about, as we know, in so many different things. So the astrology is Mercury in Aquarius. Aquarius is a rebellious sign and thinks beyond conventions. Mercury is the planet of mental prowess. The energetic combination means that the creative problem solving happens quickly with this card. Aquarius isn't a fan of playing by the rules, so there's always a chance that these situations won't make everyone happy. Some alternative interpretations. If your query is about love and you draw this card, if you're in a relationship, you may need to jazz things up a little bit by changing the scenery. Take a trip with your partner or break up your routines. Try a different restaurant or a new activity or hobby together. If you're looking for a relationship, vary up your routines. Find different places to explore as you look for the intimate relationships of your dreams. When people are looking for a relationship and they pull this card, I always tell them, plan a trip. Go to a coastal place, take a trip abroad, go across water. Like if you're looking for a relationship and this card comes up, it often indicates that you will meet the person near water or after you take a trip across water. If this card comes up in your query is about work and you're considering leaving a job that's no longer in your highest and best interest to have, it might be scary, but the universe is always on your side. As you shift into a new job, know it's okay to seek outside help and guidance. The card can also mean a change in the physical location where you conduct your work. And it can also indicate job opportunities across water or in different countries. If your query is about spirituality and you pull this card, if you've been seeking answers to questions regarding spirituality, answers are inexplicably and suddenly coming to you now. A change in your routine may have triggered this, especially if you've been traveling or exploring different spiritual paths. Your dreams may have valuable insight to them at this time, so make sure you pay attention to them. If your query is about money, expect a change in your financial situation. Things will get better if you're in a bad spot, but it can also take a turn for a worse if your situation has been thriving. Adjust your spending habits accordingly, but there's no need for any drastic shifts. Generally, overall, 6 of Wands, a very, very powerful, positive card. Now, one of my favorite cards in the deck, the 6 of Wands. This is the victory card. It is a spiritual and intuitive victory, not a military one, though it can indicate that you've literally had a victory over something in your life. So this victory is also experienced at the other 3 levels of consciousness, physical, mental, and emotional as well. This victory is a win-win situation with the results coming about as a result of creativity and flexibility. There are no losers, just as all parties involved are open to more positive energy and rejuvenation. All parties involved are open to that. The card signifies not only emerging victories, but also hints at future opportunities that may come through as the result of this victory. The element is fire, the astrology is Jupiter and Leo, and the numerology is 6. The card indicates victory, success, pride, carrying out a plan, a win-win situation, advancement, possibly to a leadership role, and empowerment. If you're doing a reading with me and this comes up, I'm gonna say you're feeling victorious or you're not feeling victorious if it's reversed. Reversed, it means betrayal, delays, apprehension, fear, disloyalty, miscommunication, demotion, a short-lived victory, or ineffective leadership. So the symbolism here. You have got the man wearing the laurel wreath of victory. The sky is blue and cloudless to show that all problems have been resolved, and the man is simply free to enjoy his victory. The suns on his chest, gloves, and flag symbolize his brightness and excellence. The sun also represents how people admire him and also link him as a sun king figure. He is someone who has power for a short amount of time, but has the humility to become a sacrifice for humanity. The numerology is a 28-1. It's the 28th card in the deck, which reduces down to a 10 and then down to a 1. The number 28 is the number of success. 2 is a number of positivity and joy. The 8 is an abundant, prosperous energy. The number 1 is the number of manifestation and new beginnings. Jupiter in Leo. Jupiter is the energy of generosity, inspiration, and service to others. Leo's propensity for the spotlight places it in the position of role model. The confident, valiant Leo energy also believes in assisting others in learning from their experiences. Some alternative interpretations to this card. If your query is about love and you're in a relationship, things should be taking a turn for the better. Expect increased intimacy and increased joy in simply being around one another. If you're looking for a relationship, this card can indicate that a relationship is about to begin with someone that you've had your eye on. If your query is about work, things in your workplace are about to be better than you ever expected. If unemployed, this card indicates the beginning of a new job that is even better than what you thought possible. If your query is about spirituality and you get this card, it indicates that you're doing all of the right things on your spiritual path. You're about to tap into and experience some deeply felt joy that you will be called to share with the world around you. If your query is about money and this comes up, your money situation is looking up and it's safe to expect more money to be coming to you. Don't go crazy. It's still important to exercise discretion with how you spend your money. So those are our 6s, the remainder of our 6s. And we will be back on schedule next week with the 7s. Mallory will edit the calendar so that today was supposed to be 7s. So we wrapped up 6s today, and we will be back on track with the 7s next week. Definitely, like, if you've got readings that you're doing and there are 6s coming up in the readings, please post them in the group and tag me, and I will be happy to comment with my interpretation of what the reading was, and let me know how your personal practice is going when it comes to the cards. I'm really interested to know how you guys are doing. Some of you are in my monthly moon magic class, and so or my group, so I get to see you doing your new and full moon readings, and a lot of you are progressing really, really amazingly and nicely, so that makes me really happy. But I would love to hear how the rest of you are doing, so please drop a comment in the discussion thread, or post a reading that you've done. Have an amazing day or evening, depending on when you're watching this. Mwah.